Hello and welcome back to the Rim. Now I have been playing Rimworld for quite some time now, and I can vaguely remember one playthrough where I started as a tribal clan rather than spacers. And while it did start out pretty good, it eventually ended the same way most early adventures in Rimworld end. Those tribals never stood a chance, but they will be honored, because today we are redoing this idea with more. Now, what if, instead of tribals, we start as a group that's even more backwards? An unfortunate group of feral and wild humans who, one way or another, found themselves isolated from any societal contact. We can achieve this by using this Vanilla Factions Expanded mod. Now, what this mod does is that it allows you to start as a group of Neolithic cavemen who just recently discovered that fire
was not some random phenomena,
but rather a process of rapid oxidation of material, which through the process of combustion produces heat, light, and some other byproducts.
And as a reward for your masochism, you are able to choose a nifty global bonus every time you advance ages. We'll also be using the storyteller included in this mod named Talon Tribal, who will send raids if you advance your technologies too quickly. As if we needed more challenge. Now the first of these wild men is known as Grug. Now Grug here was abandoned by his tribe early on during a blood moon. Fortunately for him though, he wasn't snacked on by some sanguiphage. His tribe never came back for him, and so he had to grow up alone in the woods. Being a big guy, he's quite good at punching stuff, including punching wood together and punching some artistic murals into stone. The other wildling dude is called Chug, who was abducted from his tribe as a child on another Rimworld, and fortunately for him, the pirates crashed onto this Rimworld. Although unfortunately, they also crashed somewhere very deep in the wood, and he had to survive alone in caves. He does possess a little obsession with rocks and minerals, in addition to an obsession with psychedelic mushrooms. He is rather creative and is also pretty good at throwing stuff. And the last of our wild men, or wild woman, is named Zug. Now, Zug here suddenly suffered a coma a few years after she was born. Her tribe, already low on food, abandoned her. However, she managed to wake up from her coma, and after that, she started to have some very strange experiences, such as seeing and hearing things that were simply not there, and having an unsafe obsession with fire. And plants too. She is good at making weapons and wooden objects, but not really good at anything else. Our wildmen are located in this temperate forest, with some small hills filled with marble and granite. This is a relatively mild start, but the average temperatures can reach -4 degrees and we only have 40 days to plant. You know, assuming we'll ever even reach that stage. And here is our feral group of humans. Now, I'm not so sure why we have a bow right here, because I shouldn't have one, but oh well. Grug, being the best fighter in the group, of course gets the stake. And Chug over here gets the bow. Okay, we set ourselves up here, near some water, and I think we need more wood. Now don't ask me how we can get wood without tools, but let's put the campfire out here, near the water, so it doesn't burn down the forest. Here is a tech tree for the Neolithic age. Now we only have fire and no agriculture or tribal wear, which means no food and clothing for the winter. Now we do need to finish all of the tech and then research culture in order for them to advance to the next age. And to research tech as a wild tribal, we would need to perform something called tribal gatherings. And from here we can see just how agriculture was researched. Turns out all you need to do is sit by a fire, and then all of a sudden you know how to plant. And And unfortunately, our tribal gathering was rather ineffective. Now I don't know what this food they're fighting about because we're absolutely out. And there are some very nasty looking creatures roaming around near our base, but I guess these are herbivores? And here we have a demonstration of the hunter-gatherer lifestyle of the pre-Neolithic era humans. Picking up a large number of berries and yet still somehow lacking in food. And apparently I kind of forgot that ancient dangers existed because I established my base near one. And we also build ourselves a bigger fire because apparently the bigger fire will attract more people to our fledgling tribe. I also don't particularly feel good about having a timber wolf so close to our base, but we can't really afford to kill anything. Alright, let's light this flame up and hope that another wild man comes by. And there we go. Oh, are those embers? Oh, they are. I wonder who started building a fire near some grass, because it definitely was not me. But, problem solved. Now we managed to find ourselves some Ithacan orphans in the morning, and it's a bit immersion breaking because we're not supposed to be able to talk yet. Oh, and there's a wild rat. Yo, these kids are crazy. Now Trogo here is a bit injured, but unfortunately we can't do anything for her. Now we are given the option to name our colony, which actually should not be because we're kind of cavemen. Seeing as we just basically discovered fire a few days ago. I guess we can call ourselves the Wild Ones. Now, come on. Come on, brain, you can type this. And let's randomize a good name. Oh, Kanta sounds good. Let's do that. I've relocated my large fire around here, near some stone. So hopefully this shouldn't burn the entire forest when I light it up. Okay, it is burning this piece of grass, but hopefully it should spread and should be contained to only that tile. And now we have Chug here who wants to extinguish this little flame. Let it burn, Chug. And gone. Now I've somehow managed to bug my research, because the moment you press tribal gatherings, it stops. Which means our research is going to progress real slowly. And when morning comes, we get raided by Irina armed with a Tisnite knife. Irina here has decided to attack our large fire instead of charging straight to our base, leaving us 150 wood poorer. But let's see how she fares against 3 cavemen. Now Zug here seems very excited to charge into melee, but let Grug handle it. Until you get a weapon at least. Alright, nice. Thankfully, she is just armed with a Tisnite knife, which we can now reappropriate. Let's give our best melee fighter the knife, and that stake should probably go to Zug, just so that she has a weapon. We also need to spend 150 wood to relight this fire, so that more wild men come. Man, our base is kind of filthy. It's filled with blood and corpses. We've got Chug here tending to our bleeding Zug, using some plants he got from the wilderness. Ah, we get a heat wave. Okay, that is a little dangerous for our colony. For some reason, some birds want to join us. Now, we can't really make use of animals yet because we have no way of butchering them, even though we have a way of cooking them, which is a bit weird to say. But I think they just eat grass, yeah? Which means we can keep them in our home for the meantime as a future self-breeding food source. And it appears all 3 of our colonists are now suffering from minor heat stroke. Now this is really bad because we have no way of mitigating heat. We do have a way of mitigating cold, and this just might end our run here. And then we have some predators attacking our pheasants. The food supply is also going low on our base, so we have to forage somewhere a bit farther away, which puts us in slightly more danger. Which of course means that a bear immediately decides to attack us. The big grizzly bear starts chasing down Grug, eventually managing to catch him. The strike sends Grug reeling, allowing 2 swift strikes from the bear, ending his life. Now the following day, both of our remaining colonists are suffering from some serious heat stroke. You know what? I'm just gonna say it. This is probably the end. The heat finally gets to Chug Chug, who decides to vent out his frustrations on some poor, innocent birds. He kills them with his bare hands, leaving their mangled corpses around our base. As the new day dawns, death approaches our two wildlings, both of them suffering from extreme heat, and with no one else there to help either of them. Time passes and night falls, and time seems to pass more slowly, until death claims the soul of Zug Zug. And not so long after, Chug Chug also succumbs to the heat. And so ends the story of Grug Grug, Chug Chug, and Zug Zug, who dared to defy their instincts, but ultimately failed. After just 16 days, that must be a record time. As night falls, there is only one thing left to do. Unfortunately, I'm still limited to 15-minute videos, so I will not be putting my other attempts in here. But if you like this, please give it a like and subscribe. Thank you everyone for watching, and I will be seeing you next time.